we look at Circle and its free cash multiple, which now is like 130 times EBITDA, on an equivalent basis, Ethereum's closer to 15,000. Well, I think Ethereum, is a chain that I think is getting a second look. I know that there have been criticisms of it in the past because of either how layer twos and layer ones interact, or just really sort of progress and upgrades to the network. But to us, I think the real thing we have to recognize as we look at what's happening in the real world is that Wall Street is converging onto crypto, and they're choosing to do a lot of this work on Ethereum because stablecoins have completely changed Wall Street's mind about how useful crypto can be. As we've said, the stablecoins have created the chat GPT moment for crypto because we're seeing consumers really use it in a viral way. Merchants are beginning to really love it, especially outside the US. And now banks are realizing it's actually a decent business model. We just saw Citigroup even just say that they're looking at creating a stablecoin.
Ethereum is attracting renewed interest from institutional investors, with Fundstrat's Jong Lee laying out ambitious five-figure price projections for 2025. Lee predicts that the Ethereum price will reach $4,000 by the end of July and hit $15,000 before the end of the year. He attributes this surge to the growing adoption of stablecoins and a positive shift in market sentiment. Since the beginning of July, the Ethereum price has risen more than 50%, reversing earlier market losses. This upward trend is part of growing optimism about the platform's use in concrete financial applications. According to Jong Lee, Ethereum will break $15,000 by the end of 2025. Before we move forward, if you want to stay updated with the latest crypto events and news, you can subscribe to our channel and like this video. Now let's get back to Jong Lee's view on Ethereum and the overall crypto market.
We're still adamant fans of Bitcoin because to me, Bitcoin is, first of all, it is really the ultimate form of trust at the moment, and it is digital gold in an easy way. And if someone says, well, what does that make it worth? Well, gold's 22 trillion network value, so Bitcoin should be worth $1 million.
Ethereum's native role in the U.S. crypto infrastructure and the network's excellent performance support Mr. Lee's projections. Market participants consider Ethereum to be the foundation for stablecoins and tokenized assets. This has increased confidence in its long-term utility and price appreciation. Mr. Lee believes that renewed interest from institutional investors is accelerating Ethereum's growth. Recent advances in stablecoin regulation and adoption have placed Ethereum at the center of this evolution. As institutions explore the opportunities offered by the blockchain, Ethereum remains a key infrastructure option. The recent Genius Act in the United States has amplified this momentum by formalizing support for stablecoins in financial systems. Circle's planned IPO has further fueled Wall Street interest in dollar-backed tokens. Ethereum's established dominance in stablecoin hosting has made it a mainstay of the industry. According to Lee, Ethereum's price will reflect these changes as demand for stablecoins increases. He identified a sharp increase in blockchain activity related to tokenized dollars in the Ethereum ecosystem. This practical use case continues to solidify its value proposition in institutional settings. Lee predicts that Ethereum's price could reach $10,000 to $15,000 by December. He sees the $5,000 level as an important technical milestone, surpassing Ethereum's previous record. Fundstrat analysis confirms this trajectory based on current market indicators. Lee attributes Ethereum's bullish outlook to its alignment with U.S. regulations and its growing utility in global finance. He sees blockchain's role in tokenization and settlements as increasingly crucial. This functional demand underlies Ethereum's price potential that he describes. The stablecoin market could grow from $250 billion to $2 trillion in the coming years, amplifying demand for Ethereum. Lee sees this as a structural driver that will support Ethereum's long-term price growth. He highlights Ethereum's position as the default option for tokenized assets. As Ethereum gains traction, Lee continues to support Bitcoin as a store of value and digital gold. He estimates that Bitcoin could reach $1 million if it reaches gold's $22 trillion market cap. Lee considers Bitcoin to be the safest and most reliable digital asset to hold long-term. Despite his optimism about Ethereum's rising price, his overall confidence in the market extends to Bitcoin. The Ethereum price could reach $15,000 in the medium term and $4,000 in the short term, according to Lee. He cites historic whale accumulation and support from leading institutions as evidence of a long-term bullish scenario. The recent volatility in Ethereum's price, with Ethereum falling to $3,490.62 before recovering near $3,565 during the July 19th session, reflects growing institutional attention. Corporate treasuries are significantly increasing their Ethereum holdings, adding over 600,000 Ethereum last month, indicating growing confidence in the asset's long-term value. Whale wallets are actively purchasing Ethereum above $3,340, with recent individual purchases totaling over $38 million, demonstrating strong market conviction. BlackRock's proposal to integrate a staking feature into its iShares Ethereum Trust ETF is considered very optimistic by market observers. If approved by the SEC, it will mark the first time a regulated U.S. ETF will be able to participate in Ethereum staking, effectively combining traditional finance and decentralized protocols. Recent record inflows into Ethereum spot ETFs, coupled with significant whale buying and corporate treasury accumulation, underscore the growing conviction among institutions and corporations in Ethereum's value proposition. As Ethereum approaches key price milestones, supported by strong technical indicators, these developments suggest a positive outlook for the asset's adoption and market performance. As Bitcoin adoption grows and regulations become more precise, Bitcoin price predictions are becoming more optimistic. Lee predicted that Bitcoin would continue to rise in the coming years, comparing it to gold. He said Bitcoin is on the verge of reaching over $1 million per unit as the cryptocurrency grows into what has become its household name, digital gold. Lee has been consistent with his predictions, constantly drawing similarities between Bitcoin and gold and estimating the price needed for the former to reach the precious metals market cap. But Bitcoin isn't the only digital asset Lee is closely monitoring. According to him, Ether has the opportunity to benefit from the current favorable climate for stablecoins, noting that stable assets have become the ChatGPT moment for cryptocurrencies as users and institutions have begun to adopt them. Lee also claims that Bitcoin could reach $250,000 per unit before the end of the year. He believes the $200,000 to $250,000 range for Bitcoin is still relevant, as that would only value it at 25% the size of the gold market. So he thinks digital gold means Bitcoin should be worth over $1 million per unit. This could happen in the next few years, but perhaps integrating 25% of that amount. Given the heavy reliance on stablecoins on the Ethereum network, Lee believes the boom in the sector should boost Ethereum. We now see JP Morgan and Citi entering the stablecoin market. Lee added that Ethereum currently hosts over 60% of all tokenized real-world assets, a figure he expects to continue to grow. If stablecoins surpass the $2 trillion mark, Ethereum is likely to see exponential growth in usage.